Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at the raw, the rare, the real, the one and only, the tried and true, Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. Anything y'all need to know about me, if you're new, should be listed somewhere in el description box. And if you're interested in knowing anything more about me, I invite you to go to my homepage and check out the created playlist that I have for you all. I have over 900 videos that I've created over time, as well as recommendations of other creators that I recommend, okay? To newbies, welcome. Likewise, go ahead and visit the homepage and all of that. And all of you who are divinely guided here, all of you who come here in, should I say, benevolent energy, okay? I do really feel like I have to explain a lot of things that I'm kind of getting tired of explaining, but I do understand that everybody's in different places and spaces in life and on their journeys. But when you hear me talk of certain things, you guys, I want to make it plain. When you guys hear me talk about karmic versus divines, when you hear me talk about awakened, ascended souls versus unawakened, and all of these things, if you want to if it helps, okay, to simplify it all, at least from my perspective, I cannot speak for every single person on this type of path. I can't speak for every single type of reader. I can't speak for every single person who's a Reiki master. So I speak for myself and on behalf of my own journey, my own resonance, what my guides provide me, and what I have learned. And I simply share from that space, and it's meant to reach those who are on a similar vibration or a similar type of journey. Okay? So when I'm mentioning these things, everyone is on a journey, you guys, karmic and non-karmic alike. And yes, every last one of us have karmic lessons. Saturn is all about the law of karma, time, father time. So everybody's working things out. But hear this and hear this clear. Not everybody operates out of malevolence, though. And see, and this is where I draw the line. Because every last one of us have had different stages and phases of life and have made mistakes. You've gone through the younger years of your life due to your own pain and trauma and so forth and yada, yada, right? Likewise with karmic individuals. In my resonance, what makes things so unique and different is that not everyone, even when they are in the lower frequencies, even when they are not necessarily doing everything pristine. It's always about vibration. It's always about heart, space, intent, motivation, and what one's soul imprint is. Everybody is not on the same soul level. I know that doesn't, that doesn't sound, pretty and all of that, but it's not a judgment. It's not. It's just like children. Everybody is not, if you want to equate it to things that are just more natural and easier to understand, we're born in the physicality. And so, not every child is 6 months old. Not every child is 10 months old. Not every person is of the same physical age as it pertains to time as we know it, right? This physical experience. Okay, likewise with the soul, it's the same way with the soul. Not every soul, okay, is on the same level experience. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's better or less than, good or evil. It simply is a matter of an observation. You have a child, year so and so, their physical age is this at this year so and so. Likewise, you had someone at a different year, their physical age is such. It is the same as far as my resonance and what I've been taught and guided to understand. It's the same when it deals with the soul. So with that being said, just like with children in different stages and phases, the development is a lot different. So the younger child is they're going to have certain characteristic traits and they're going to do certain things that The older ones may have already graduated and passed those phases and stages unless there's some type of a stagnation or stunting of growth. Okay? So it's the same when it comes to the world of energy. It's the same when it comes to the, nature of the soul. Okay? Also adding in the factors of choices and decisions and habits and patterns and all of that, because all of that is an accumulation of something, karma, in the 3D. So I just want to say that I'm kind of growing a little weary on it, but I feel like I will share it only on behalf of those of you that I know I'm here for, and you may be earlier in the stage of the ascension and the awakening, and this is all new. Okay. So those that are incarnated on divine paths, they go through phases and stages like anybody else. Okay. They make mistakes. They do things for wrong reasons. They have to, any of us, if we don't go and end up doing the work, well, you live out your days karmic in nature. And what do I mean by that? 3D base. Because the Lord of Karma, right? Saturn energy, this is all about Earth. This is all about time. This is all about cause and effect, right? 3D base. It's only until we start ascending and working through all of it, okay, where this changes. It gets better, okay? Because now you're ascending your soul, you're ascending your consciousness, your choices are becoming different. You're doing the inner work. So now your accumulation is different. Now it becomes more about the dharmas that you're accumulating, the higher frequencies as you ascend through all of it. Okay? Karmics, individuals who they stay in that template and they have a malevolence to them. They play in that arena, okay? Whether it be through traditional religion or spiritual, because both sides has the potential of malevolence. Anytime we're not awakened and healed and we're working through the lower frequencies and chakras from the fear and ego based grid, that's that survivalist energy, which means you have no real moral code and you'll feel justified in doing any and everything to someone in the name of getting your way. Karmics continue on. And what happens with karmics is they have had their soul either ended up getting stunted, okay, and they go round for round, whether they're consciously aware of it or not, and they fail. So each lifetime they're getting an accumulation. They fail to grab the lesson because they too are here for lessons. They fail to journey, so it's a repeat. They're going round for round. So eventually then there is a judgment call or things are put into clause where in certain lifetimes they will have to pay up, in certain lifetimes they will have to receive, and then they are called karmics. They go about trying to, willfully and intentionally hurt people, even if they're hiding it. In my resonance, that's what it is, okay? And in my resonance, this could hide anywhere. Whether it is an industry such as this or something more traditional in nature, it hides anywhere. That's the nature of being on the earth, okay? It's almost naive of any of us to think that anyone that's operating in a darker energy is going to show up with a name tag on and say, hello, I'm here to do evil. It just doesn't work like that. Malevolence operates in has potential to operate in any and everything on this earth and beyond. So whether it's a tarot reader or a pastor, yep, I said that. Because it's all about the heart space. It's all about the energy and frequency and the soul imprint, the decisions, the choices, the behaviors. Okay? Willful interference and hurting of others is not that hard to figure out, even if they are managing it to hide it. And when people aren't well, now see, here is the gray area. When people aren't well because they're asleep and they're not dealing with the disruption in their systems and what they inherited through the ancestry and whatever, then they could be disillusioned to their own state. I say this all the time. We had people blow up the Twin Towers in the name of God. So if that's not disillusionment, I don't know what is. But if you were to talk, if you would have talked to these individuals prior to any of that happening, in their mind and perception, as far as they believe and know, they're doing a justice. And this is when you know you're dealing with someone unwell. I'm only saying this to make a point, okay? Because this whole topic of karmic, divine, light, dark, and all of that, everybody has their own resonance, but I'm really trying to simplify it, because at the end of the day, no matter what we call ourselves and what labels we're using and what arenas we're in, any of us, if we are willfully, intentionally doing things to people because we don't like them or we don't agree, and we feel justified with imposing on someone else's rights, imposing on someone else's space, imposing, then I'm sorry, ain't nothing divine about it. We have a right to create and to speak. That's the nature of Earthskool. It's also the nature of the United States of America, if that's where you are. So your thoughts, your views, your opinions are valuable, even if they're different than someone else's, and you have a right to share that from your perspective place. But people who do malicious shit, no matter how sneakily they're doing it, with the sheer motivation of they're unhappy, the sheer motivation, and they don't agree with something or someone, the sheer motivation is they feel the need to compete and compare, all of these lower frequencies, then I'm sorry, ain't nothing divine about it. And there's lessons to be learned. See, they too have lessons that they're here to work that out. Whether or not they do, well, that's on them. Okay. All right. So that was a sidebar. That has nothing to do with what I'm actually discussing here. As you guys are coming in, you see, I kept saying that I was going to ask my guys of a cool saying, because there's this old school saying, snitches get stitches. Any of you who came from the hood, you came from your urban, land of the urbanites, you know what I'm saying? Urban backgrounds, rough, coming up, came up around thugs and gangsters and, y'all know, right? Gangs and all of that. Then the common thing is snitches get stitches, right? Okay. Well, so I asked my guys, I'm like, let's bring it on. Like, let's bring it into the world of growing up time. Let's bring it into the world of those who are saying that they're, of God and of light and, trying to be the best versions of themselves and, good folks and claiming to be a good person and all this kind of stuff. Well, degenerates and cowards get devoured. Degenerates and cowards get devoured. What do I mean by that? It's the same thing, but only in the realm of energy or in the realm of universal laws. Okay, it's all in energy and frequency. No one goes unscathed. Degenerate meaning someone who is hell-bent on thinking, doing, saying, or failing to do, think, and say, right? Whether it is the right things, meaning higher vibrational, meaning just, honorable, fair, benevolent, or failing to. Okay? Being quick to just jump, that childlike energy, that teenager, infantile, or school age attitude and mindset that's quick to allow someone to get you riled up to do something stupid and you end up hanging your own life, right? Or, being willing to be bought off or anything like that, right? Degenerates and cowards get devoured. Yes, this is a thing and it's true. Devoured by what? Karma. What kind of karma? Bad karma. Law of the universe. Cause and effect. Right? Gets devoured. Energetically gets devoured. The energy is then returned. What do I mean by that? So a degenerate and a coward, in the name of so-called trying to save their own ass, or in the name of trying to appease a group of people, a group of devils, a coven, or whatever the fuck, thinking that they're going to save themselves. They're not going to be saved. Essentially, what ends up happening is everybody gets pent to the same final destination. Okay, with the whatever the pay was. And I'm putting that out there. I'm like, well, folks need to hear it. Because the degenerates and cowards, these are the people who, when it gets rough or when the rubber meets the road or when the shit hits the fan, now everybody's shaking their head, closing their eyes, putting their fingers in their ears and sticking their, saying la 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 la. Everybody start, it's like thinking they can run for the hills, and it's like, no, it's you. They coming for you too. They coming. Yes, they are. Degenerates and cowards. Whether this is a witch coven, a church, a family, a group, an organization, a business, an ex, a whole of an ex of X, don't matter. However, whoever and however, right? According to whatever the story is. They know who they are, as does the universe, as does Source, as does the ancestors and ascended masters and spirit guides and yada yada. Degenerates and cowards get devoured. If my guides lead me to do so, I may come on much later today and actually do a reading based on the DDBK, the daily dose of bad karma. That may be the title to see what happens. Degenerates and cowards, they do get devoured.